Good morning. I am Toni from the Fibrology Lab, and this is Coffee Chat with me, with Toni. I am trying out, again, this is all new the way I'm trying to do this. I want to be able to show you my workstation and talk. But first of all, I need to see if you can hear me Tuesday because I've had to change it up again because I was getting some feedback. So if you can hear me, um, let me know in the comments. I'm going to wait a minute or two to see who all pops on. Um, Christine, can you hear me? Just curious. Let me know. Um, oh yes. Woo-hoo. Hopefully it's not feedback. Is it? It's okay. No feedback going on. The reverb or whatever it's called. Just making sure because I was having some problems again. So I'm gonna try something different tomorrow. I'm gonna try. I gotta fine tune it. So this is like the raw start of this whole series. So I'm grateful that you can join me live and watch it. So I'm gonna wait a minute or two to see who's coming in. What is in your cup this morning? Are you a coffee drinker, tea drinker, or maybe you're having Coke or just water? Or maybe that's good too. I waited to have my coffee till now, so that way I'm not so jumpy. You guys realize sometimes when I do these things, I've had like 2 cups of coffee and I'm all over the place. I'm jumpy, squirrely, whatever you want to call it. So I do have coffee dough. I have coffee with, I borrowed caramel macchiato creamer from our office refrigerator here. Hopefully it's okay. Coffee all the way, Christine says. So I'm looking this way because this is where my computer is. I should take a picture. I want to get, oh, I can't take a picture because my cameras are here. I'll figure it out. But the way I have it set up is I have a camera here. I have another camera off to the my right side that I'm going to swing in that's going to show my workstation, and my computer's over here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of, I'm going to get my twists in. So I thought that would kind of give you a visual. I'm not, like I said, I should take a picture, but it's a little complicated right now. I'm figuring it out. Figure it out. Um, Yesterday I talked a little about how I use the strip tube ruler to do half square triangles. And I thought, well, today we're going to show you what actually comes with the packaging that comes with the strip tube ruler because it's kind of cool. I mean, this is behind me. This is called Trade Winds. And I am going to reorder all this stuff. I just have to kind of get into a new routine. As some of you know, I've been off for about a week or so after Hurricane Ian, just trying to figure out our new routine and steps, and we're getting there. So, we've been here 5 months in Florida, so it's been a learning process. I'm one of these people, if you haven't figured it out yet, that think I can do anything and I can do it and be done with it. Yeah, moving, I thought, yeah, sure, I'll be back up. I'll be out on orders and I'll be able to sales. I'll be able to have classes. And yeah. So we are finally rolling along. There is a little clip that we have going on that we are starting to get orders in. We are starting to do a little bit more. Yesterday we are doing some virtual shop hops through October. No, not October. November, December, and January. We're excited about. And don't forget, the Great Quilting Adventure is this week. Tonight is Bella Rose out of Oregon. They go on at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, 8 for Eastern Time Zone people. But they are doing a mystery. You get a clue every night for watching the show and hanging out with those wonderful shops, and they have some great stuff. So we will be on tomorrow night. I'm a little nervous. Some of my stuff is supposed to be here. It was sent to Tennessee, so I might be doing some picture holding, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So ours is tomorrow night. Butterscotch coffee, Christine says. Wow, yum. Did you use butterscotch schnapps? Or did you just put a drop butterscotch in your coffee? That sounds good too. So yesterday we had some questions about how to comment because I say, hey, comment. So I'm going to do a quick video later today after I get off of this and how to comment during my live on YouTube. From what I've heard from some people is there's a column on the right side of your screen that you might have to open up to put comments in and see comments. So that way you can actually see things that are going on as well. So I will do a video on that later because I want to be able to hear and see you guys communicate and ask questions because the whole point is to talk to you, not just to internet land. I mean, it is what it is, right? And some of you, thank you so much for coming back yesterday and watching on the replay, because I know sometimes mornings are not good, always good for everybody, and some people work. So yeah, I'm grateful that you guys came back and watched. Um, what else is going on? Today is Wednesday. Wednesdays typically I've been trying to take it off. So after I do this, I'm going to sit and sew at the rest of the day. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I probably will work on this project. So I was sitting here thinking how to present the strip tube ruler in a demo with how to use it, and I had to dig through my stash. I had a whole bunch of fabric that was Island Batiks. I sold this probably about 18 months ago. It's what was it called? I can't remember what it's called, but I have a whole bunch of it, and I love Halloween. I love fall. So I'm gonna make a Halloween quilt using the strip tube ruler, and I'm gonna show you how I'm doing that. Trying to sew clue 2 between meetings. Clue 2 is probably the longest clue, Christine. Once you get that one done, you should be able to keep up with the clues every day the rest of the week. So clue 2 is the most intense clue in this particular mystery. Butterscotch syrup. Ooh, yum. That sounds yummy. You can even put that like in like chocolate milk or something too, not just coffee. You can do lots of different things. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera, move my coffee cup out of the way, and show you a little bit more of the strip tube ruler. Let's see how this works. I'm going to switch my camera this way. Did you see how that kind of came into the view? My computer out of the way. It is a tight space, but I'm going to make it work because I think this is important to kind of hang out with you guys and give you some more tricks and tips or how I do things. Just remember, anytime I give out advice, this is the way that works for me. There are so many ways to do everything. I want you to be open to that. I am not a quilt police. I'm not going to say, don't do that. But I will encourage you to try different ways to fit your learning process. We all learn differently. We all interpret things differently. Sometimes I might say the exact same thing in 3 different ways because that's how I teach. And the other thing is, I do like to teach accuracy. I don't teach perfection. I teach accuracy. And what that means, I will encourage you to know your 1/4 inch stitch pretty accurate on your machine, know how to cut accurately and how to press accurately. If you can manage those 3 things, you're going to have a successful quilt with perfect points. And if they're not perfect, you can say, oops, I did it that way on purpose. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about the strip tube ruler. So again, there are 2 different sizes. We have this one in stock. I just ordered some more of these, and I did order the pattern behind me. And if you don't know what pattern that is, it's called Trade Winds. It is one of the first patterns. Well, it was the first pattern that I worked on. How many of you have ever heard of a ballet pop from Hoffman Fabrics? They are 2.5-inch strips of 42. 42 batiks. When they first came out, it was like 2009, 2010. That's what that quilt it was made with. That's behind me, and I loved it. It was a free pattern that Danielle Stout designed for Hoffman, and then she went on to sell it. You can't get it free anymore. And I have adjusted a little bit, and I'll talk about that here when I go back to that view. But this is the directions that come with the rulers. It is free. This is a PDF, free PDF. So if you have one of these tools and you're like, I lost the directions, I'll put the link for this PDF into the comment or into the description. On the back side, it also has how to make half square triangles with the measurements and how to finish them up, what to cut it at, and how many blocks you get out of a strip, which I just think is cool. So what they do is actually take 2 strips of fabric and sew them on top of each other and then make half square triangles. I did it a little differently, but this works just as well. So, but I wanted to show you something fun with just the regular ruler. So like this is a block. It's using 2 2.5-inch strips, and this piece is 4.5 inches because when you put these together, they should measure at 4.5. So it's an equal in size. So if you wanted to do 3 strips, you would need to make this, 6.5. You have to add that extra 2.5 inches to this measurement. You make it the same size as this for our technique. So then this is all written out. But what she has done is taken a solid piece of strip and then 2 strip sets together. And I have sewn them according to the directions. So there's my solid piece and there's my strips. What do you see here on the top and the bottom is a 1/4 inch seam. Now remember, the name of this tool is strip tube ruler. We have just created a tube. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sew this set together and then we're going to put this piece right on top. Just make sure your right sides are inside the tube. You don't want the right sides on the outside because then they'll have the seam out. You'll see the seam. So just make sure your right sides of fabric are on the inside of that tube. And we are going to just cut. It's that simple. Once we've done it, we're just going to cut it. Now, yesterday I mentioned when we are squaring up our half square triangles, we always want to use the seam line as our reference, never the edge of the seam itself, because the distance between this and this could be different. But if we're using this seam line to cut with, that is a more accurate line to work with. You probably can't see this very well, mainly because it's on black. Boy, that was not very smart. I just wanted to play with my Halloween fabric. Here we go. We'll flip it over. There, now you can see it. So there's the seam line. Let me use the big one. This one's a bigger piece. And I like to use the full width. If I'm going to play with this, I'm going to use the full width, which means I'm going to take my point all the way up here. And you might have to pop the stitches. That's okay too, but that way you'll know what you're getting into. And again, remember the lines on the seam will make the finished size, or the block unfinished size, I should say, because there's no 1/4 inch seam in that until after you sew it in. So right now I am going to put it at the 6 inch line because it goes all the way to the point here. And then I'm going to cut. If I can find my cutter, there it is. I'm left-handed, but I'm going to cut right-handed. So my solid 6 inch line is on the seam of my tube. I'm going to cut up here. Again, I don't encourage you to cut towards you. Move your body away from it so your blade is not coming towards your body. And then I notice I don't move my hand until I move my pieces, because if you move your hand, then you have to reline it up. So I see that there's still some seam stitches here. So I'm just going to pop them real quick. And there we go. I have a square. I have let's measure it out. We have a 6 inch square because I did it on the 6 inch line. Now, when I sewed these together, I did mention yesterday, I like to press open this because it's just a strip set. I just pressed them all to the one direction. Now, I probably would go in here and finger press and press these open now, because I can put this into a pinwheel effect with 4 of them. So there's something else to think about. There are so many patterns. She has over 150 patterns to do this style of technique. The other thing I like about this technique is once we actually start putting things together, you don't have to worry about matching up seams. She's got one, the other one's called, I've done several times, it's called tube top. And I love it because the seams don't have to match. And that's the best thing about these type of patterns, that you can be inaccurate and still have fun doing it. Have I missed anybody? Questions? I must not be getting questions this way. Again, we'll try again tomorrow and try some new things of recording live. But for now, this is what we're doing. Now, you see this one. This one is something I have started cutting for my Halloween trade wins. And all I did for this is I did three strips together. And now I've cut that first triangle. I just realized my camera's crooked. There we go. I must have hit it. Sorry, guys. All right. And I just take the ruler up to it and I match up that edge. Now I want to use the whole width of this particular triangle, and I'm just going to cut it here and keep going up and down, up and down. So if you can look and see, this one is going to be different than this one because it's opposite. It came from over here. So, but that's just another way to use the strip tube ruler. Again, these directions come in with the ruler itself. Pressing seams open are much more accurate. They are. And but we've been taught differently over the last, the couple decades, that we don't press our seams open because we'll pop our stitches. That's why I encourage you to let me switch my camera back over here. That's why I would actually encourage you to bring your stitch length down a bit. Typically, most machines have stitch lengths about 2.4, 2.5. I would bring it down to 2.2 or even right at 2.0 if you're going to be doing half square triangles where you're going to need to press seams open. The tighter you make your stitches, yeah, that makes it harder to rip it out, just saying. But it makes a finer finish and allows you to manipulate those half square triangle points, or any point actually, if you're doing like even 6 degrees. And I talked about that. But I talked about that to my VIP club people. I was going to show you one more thing, and I have no idea where it's at. Okay, well, I guess we'll show you that. So I'm just going to grab my coffee. Christine, I'm grateful that you can text or chat. I don't know if anybody else if people are having problems talking and sharing. Because I would love to kind of have an open conversation. Just weird. I'm going to figure it out though. And just remember, years from now, you're going to be like, I remember when it was pretty sketchy at the beginning, right? So, and I know quite a few have already been with me for several years already, and I appreciate that too. So I'm going to be back tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. We'll probably push. Oh, don't forget about the Stitched Up Stories. Go ahead and sign up. Danielle Stout, who is the designer of this tool and this pattern, so this is the trade wind pattern, is going to be our Stitched Up Story on Sunday. And I encourage you to do it. It's $20. You get a recording. If you can't be there, say, you're doing some family stuff and you're like, I really want to see it. But, and they do giveaways. They give away stuff. Fun stuff. And Danielle, I think I shared the video onto our Facebook. Danielle had posted something about her doing it this weekend, so it's pretty exciting. So that is, go to stitchedupstories.com. Again, the link will be below in the description as well. I'm trying to think what else. I was going to say something else about tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. That's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know what to do tomorrow. I might show you something that I will be doing in the ELF workshop that we have planned coming up in November as well. So I just hope this will be informative, fun, not serious. Though I don't tend to be really serious. Maybe not. If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me, info@fibrologylab.com. Oh, Sandra came in. Oh, hey, Sandra, how are you? See, I don't understand why everyone can't comment. And I think it's because somebody just doesn't know. So I will do that video after I get off of here so you can learn how to interact with me this way. Danielle is beyond wonderful. You are correct, Sandra. She is awesome. Sandra, you don't have to go back and rewatch what I talked about doing the strip tube ruler again, another way to use it. And I will be back. So I'm trying to be consistent. I'll be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Eastern time zone as well. And I'll do it again Friday. Next week's going to look a little different. I'll be doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday, I will be on the road to Houston. I'm going to Quilt Market. I'm going to meet I'm so excited. I'm so excited, like a little girl. So excited. I'm going to go to see Marsha out of Be So Creative. I'm going to see Bev from Quilting Bee. I'm going to see Tracy and Becky from Sew and Stitches. I'm going to see Lynetta from Gypsium Quilts up in Washington State. I'm going to see all my friends. I'm so excited. Hopefully, we'll share some of that with you. Oh, and yeah, I hope to see Tula too. Fangirl, I'm going to see Tula, Alison Glass. And I don't know if Julie from J. Burke Quilts is going this year, but I'll find out. So next week is going to be a lot of fun because I'll be doing a lot of videoing from Quilt Market and sharing that with you guys. So, all right. Did I miss anything? All right. I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for spending just a few minutes this morning. And hopefully I gave you some ideas and some tips on my way of teaching and of using the strip tube ruler. And you know how to reach me, info@fibrologylab.com. And remember, we're friends, fibers, and fun.